Imagine this. A father rushes into an emergency room carrying his 8-year-old son who has met with a road traffic accident. The doctors immediately begin treatment. Within a few minutes, someone hands the father a consent form and asks him to sign. At that moment, the father's hands begin to tremble. He is not thinking about the legal language in the document. He is not thinking about hospital policies. He has only one question in his mind: will my child survive? Now, contrast this with another situation. A young doctor has been working continuously for nearly 18 hours. He performs an emergency surgery, saves the patient's life, but unfortunately, a rare complication develops. Within a few hours, allegations of negligence begin. The patient's family is distressed. The doctor is devastated. Both sides feel they have been wronged. The question is, could better communication and a better understanding of medicine and law have prevented this situation? The answer in many situations is yes. That is precisely why this series has been created. Namaskar to all of you and welcome to Medico-Legal Dialogues by SriAn Envisions, where medicine meets law, ethics meets evidence, and knowledge empowers society. I am Sripad, a practicing advocate, and I am from the commerce and financial planning background. Every session of ours, we will have together with us Dr. Anil Sangli, a senior consultant neuro and spine surgeon, who is also a lawyer who has done his Bachelor's of Law and Master's of Law and has attained the first rank in LLM and is also a medical legal expert. We shall discuss real life situations that concern doctors, lawyers, patients, hospitals, students, and every responsible citizen and every person who needs to be aware of this situation. Dr. Sangli, welcome to you.
Thank you very much. Sripad, that opening itself explains why medico-legal awareness is no longer optional. Medicine and law are often seen as two entirely different professions. Nevertheless, in reality, every medical decision has legal implications, and every legal decision involving healthcare requires a sound understanding of medicine. Unfortunately, most of the people do not understand this and they find themselves in the middle of a crisis. Our objective is to change this. Through this series, we shall simplify very complex medico-legal issues, scientific evidences, legal principles, and practical real-life scenario examples so that people can understand real law, real medicine, and actually what the crisis is and how to go about them. Whether you are a doctor, you are a lawyer, or a patient, or a nurse, or a student, or anybody, even general public, everybody must understand this healthcare better, and this series is meant for all of you.
Before we discuss the normal things we apply in the courts or we submit before the courts, that is consent, negligence, patient rights, medical records, etc. Let me ask you one very simple question, doctor. Why should an ordinary citizen be aware of medical law, that is both medicine and law? And isn't this meant only for doctors and lawyers?
Yeah, this is probably the most important question in the series because medical law is not meant only for doctors or lawyers. It concerns every human being, and every one of us is born in a hospital. Every one of us will fall sick at one point of our life. Every family faces medical decisions, and every patient needs to sign consent form. So every individual has got his own medical record. And every citizen has got legal rights, responsibilities, etc. when they are receiving this health care. Therefore, understanding this medical law is just as important as understanding your traffic, your taxation, your insurance, your banking law, etc. So, medical law mainly protects the patients, and medical law also protects honest doctors. That's very important. So, when both the sides understand the rights and responsibilities, their duties, the relations, the misunderstandings which come between because of this will reduce, the trust will improve, and the communications become much and much more stronger, and unnecessary litigations can be avoided.
True. Now, People usually think medicine is science and law is legislation. But how closely are they related to each other or connected to each other?
Much more closely than anybody can imagine, because I'll explain this with a very simple example. Suppose a patient comes to the hospital with severe abdominal pain, and the doctor examines the patient, he orders for investigations, he explains the diagnosis to the relative or to the patient, and he provides various types of treatment options, whether it is medical or surgical, and then he obtains an informed medical consent, maintains the confidentiality in between, and then documents each and every point right from the time of admission till the patient even gets discharged. And then in the meanwhile, he performs a procedure according to accepted medical standards and provides to give post-operative care. So each one of these steps right from the time of admission has got a medical dimension and a legal dimension. That's very important, because when the matters reach the court, judges and advocates cannot decide whether the negligence has occurred without understanding what medical science is, whether what documentation has been done. So therefore, they always function together and not separately. They are always interconnected.
Also, being from the financial planning field, I've often noticed that one unexpected illness can completely ruin or disturb a family's financial stability. Can healthcare really have such a profound financial impact?
Definitely. Healthcare is one of the most important things which I personally feel it is, because the health investment is the one investment which every individual must possess. In our series, we would like to establish various aspects of these healthcare scenarios, and because any serious patient may require hospitalization, surgery, rehabilitation, medical management, medications, prolonged follow-up, all these things, and they cost money. So a good financial planning is important, adequate medical insurances, preservation of these medical records to provide it to the insurance companies or to the legal and to know the legal rights, etc. These are all very important things, and it is mainly to protect the family in this difficult situation that we have this. So healthcare planning is very, very important, and it's the most important probably component of financial planning.
True. So we have to have both legal planning as well as financial planning
based on healthcare aspects.
Now, many disputes seem to arise not because of negligence, but because of poor communication between the doctor and the patient. Would you agree on this?
Yes. Most common cause of a medico-legal dispute is a lack of communication or an inadequate communication, which can be miscommunicated. So communication itself will become one of the most important aspects to prevent a litigation itself. When a doctor comes and explains a particular diagnosis, the treatment, the options of treatments, the various expected outcomes of these particular things, and probably the complications, etc. And if a patient who really understands that, and if the doctors explain that honestly, then the patients and the relatives develop a trust in the doctor. They know what is coming, what could be the complication that is expected of them. So if they don't know anything about that complication and suddenly it comes out of the blue, then it will be very difficult for them to digest. And that miscommunication is the one which triggers the litigation, which that should be avoided. So this communication, what you do with the patient, builds trust, and documentation that communication will help you in the courts. Suppose
that will preserve communication.
Yes.
Evidentiary value. So I think together they become the strongest protection for both patients and doctors.
Yes, true.
So what can our viewers expect from this series over the coming weeks, Doctor?
Well, we have planned various types of discussions, both in medical topics, legal topics, and medico-legal topics together, like patients' rights, responsibilities, duties, doctors' duties and responsibilities, informed consent, medical negligence, various types of problems related to consumer law, criminal law in medical practice, and artificial intelligence in healthcare.
That has become a hot topic these days.
Yes, and digitization of healthcare, telemedicine, medical ethics related to normal medicine as well as with
I think brain death and organ donation is one of the important.
Most important. These are all becoming hot topics. And
what about this emergency treatment?
Both, yeah. Many of them come as emergencies. So these are very, very important. And the responsibility of the doctor, this hospital, the healthcare professionals, the advocates who really go
Even
into the
medical
court,
students, nursing students.
the media who come in. All these things are very, very important real life scenarios.
And I think we should discuss landmark court decisions also.
Yes, that will be very helpful because it acts as a precedent, and we'll know what exactly the court thinks in this particular situation and how to go about it at a later point.
So viewers, we have discussions over a long period of time which will be based on scientific evidence, legal principles and practical experience, and many real life medico-legal situations that affect each one of us will be discussed. And to end this, medicine and law are not merely professions. They influence every family, every hospital, every citizen, he may be a rich person or a poor person, but health care and financial care are both important along with legal care, what we call. So I think we sincerely hope that this series helps bridge the gap between doctors, lawyers and the public through knowledge and understanding. Dr. Anil, I think you have given very good information and this is a good start.
Yeah, most important thing is for everyone to know that knowledge is the best form of prevention. Knowledge is power. An informed patient makes better decisions. An informed doctor can practice with greater confidence.
Sure.
And an informed lawyer argues more effectively in court. So,
that's true.
And to overall, an informed society overall can build a greater trust between both
I think that is the
medicine and law.
Yeah, I think that is the purpose of medico-legal dialogues, which we are continuing.
We shall get back to you in future various our discussions series and podcasts. Be well informed about it.
Thank you for joining us for this inaugural episode of Medico-Legal Dialogues. And if you found today's discussion meaningful, you can spread this medico-legal knowledge to your friends, doctors, and lawyers, colleagues, nurses, students, healthcare professionals. And in the next episode, our topic will be informed consent. Is it merely a signature or is it the foundation of trust between a doctor and patient? Until then, stay informed, stay healthy, stay legally aware. Namaskar, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.